Hello, First A.M.E. Welcome to Your Health and COVID-19. As we continue to move through this pandemic, the health ministry wanted to put together a little video for you all just to kind of help you all maintain your physical and mental health. We're going to cover some general health topics, talking about boosting your immune system, mental health, nutrition, fitness, just to keep you going. So we're going to start off with Dr. Rona Smith, and she's going to discuss some general health and immune boosting tips for you all. Rona?
All right. Good evening, everyone. So in this time of pandemic, I know that a lot of people are, noticeably and understandably concerned about COVID-19 and wondering kind of what are some things that you can do to keep yourself, your family safe, as well as help to boost your immune system. So in keeping that in mind, as I prepared this brief discussion, I wanted to go over just a few things that I think will be helpful and hopefully you all will find useful. As we are entering, some of us, into our first or even second week of self-isolation at home, I just want to kind of talk a little bit about the importance of that, because not only are you protecting yourself, you are protecting loved ones. As we know, this disease is highly contagious and numbers are increasing fast. And so staying at home is protective for yourself as well as your loved ones, because you're making sure that you are keeping you and them safe. And that's really twofold, by lessening your chance of getting the disease, as well as lessening the burden on the health system in terms of overwhelming the health system. So although things can seem overwhelming at times in terms of maybe feeling like a locked-in syndrome in terms of having to stay at home, we really are all playing a very important part. And I think we as Christians have an especially important role because we are the light of the world. And we serve a awesome and magnificent God who is bigger than anything that we have or will deal with. And we have a chance to be example here and to show people what it's like to be the light of the world. And so in that respect, I think it's important to do some things to kind of keep your self lifted during this time. One of the things I think it's important to do is to stay on a schedule. If you're someone who's having to work from home, homeschooling, things of that nature, starting a schedule for you and your family that you're able to maintain is very important. And then also something I like to do is starting my day with kind of declarations, just speaking the word over my life, speaking the word over my future, speaking the word over my day, and just having a conversation between myself and the Lord that we have discussed what the day is going to be like before the day has even begun. And, before my feet hit the floor in the morning, the Lord and I already decide that it's going to be a good day, that it's going to be a day of prosperity. It's going to be a day of health. It's going to be a day where he is going to use me to change and help people to the best of my ability, working through him. So I think just keeping some of those things in mind will help during this time. For those of you who have concerns, I just want to pass on a little bit of information. The CDC, cdc.gov, has a coronavirus self-checker. If you go to that website, there's kind of a short questionnaire that you can go through to kind of go through some symptoms if you have concern. And I think that is a good place to start. Another thing to do is, as we're looking at self-isolation, to also be mindful of staying in contact with your provider. A lot of providers in this time are doing telemedicine. I know that at my job, we are doing that. People who are established with the practice can call in and we'll talk to them about their concerns And if they need refills and this kind of stuff, I'll have a video chat similar to what you're seeing now with my patient. And there are a lot of things that can be done. But if you don't know about it, you're unable to reach out. And sometimes when patients are older and they don't have the ability to do some of the technological things that you can through video, we're able to do a telephone visit, which is especially helpful in these times when we are trying to keep ourselves separated and safe so that we can flatten the curve on the growing number of cases that we still don't have a good handle on just yet. So those are some things you can do in terms of your immune system. So when you think about your immune system, that is the part of our body that fights any disease, whether you're talking about a bacterial infection, a viral infection. Our immune system is our body's own army. And the things we can do to help fortify that army are things like making sure that we eat right, get enough rest, anything that's going to reduce the hormone or cortisol, which is a stress hormone that probably a lot of us are seeing increased levels of because of the world situation. And so things that reduce stress are exercise can help with that. Laughter helps with that. Reaching out to loved ones, and then doing things for others, whether we realize it or not. Taking the time to focus on helping someone else is a great way to boost your immune system. And so if you have a talent, this is an excellent time to let your light shine. So whatever that talent may be, find a way to reach out virtually and share that talent with others. And I feel like this is a time where the Lord is really going to be able to magnify and use his people to reach out and get his word to others. So in terms of nutrition or foods that can help, I'll touch just briefly on that. Vitamin C, obviously orange juice, tomatoes, those are some fruits and vegetables that have a lot of vitamin C. Eating more fruits and vegetables in general is a good idea. Like I said, doing a good workout, making sure that you have enough sleep. Obviously, we've heard washing your hands regularly is a wonderful thing to do. Making sure that you're going to take care of your mental health, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but some things you can do with that is talking to loved ones, journaling, things of that nature. So this really is kind of a whole body approach to making sure that you're protecting yourself against the virus by boosting your immune system, which requires a lot of things, a lot of good things that we hopefully do on a regular basis, but this is an opportunity to do that more now. So if you're a smoker, this is a great time to quit. That will help to boost your immune system. And I'll just take this time to just say that, I believe that the Lord is really going to use this time as to make the world his stage, for people to really see that what God can do. I think that this is a time for us to, like I said, use our talents to share with others, use our beliefs and our strength and our faith to, walk in the world separately, safely, but to show people what it looks like when you have a faith and you're covered in the blood, knowing that come what may, God will take care of you. And I'm thankful for the position the Lord has put me in being a healthcare provider. There's a lot of stress that comes with that, but every day that I am treating patients and seeing people, I am humbled by the fact that God is still in control, and no harm will come to me as long as I keep my faith in him. And so the challenge during this time is just to keep our eyes stayed on him, and to walk out our faith in a way that allows this time to really be the Lord's stage for his grace. So those are my tips. And I think that just keeping an open line of communication with your healthcare provider, and really taking good care of yourself in this time is the perfect way to protect yourself.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Smith. So on that, we're going to move over to the Noels, who are going to go in a little bit more in depth on the healthy eating and nutrition that Rona had started out with. So I will turn it over to them.
Hi, thank you. This is Valerie.
I'm Roy.
I'm Roy. I am not a cook, but Roy is. But one of the first I want to start, Dr. Rona covered a lot of the information, did a great introduction on eating healthy. But one of the things that I want to say uh, to members of our congregation, I'm not assuming that everybody has food at home. If you do not have food at home during this time, is to please reach out to First A.M.E. and we'll make sure that we take care of you. And I say that from the bottom of my heart because I have 3 children and someone will call and say, hey, I need this for the baby or I need that. So please reach out. You should not be going hungry or be worrying about food this time. And so I start with that in saying many of us are working from home. And being home during this season is not a party. It is not I heard this today, it's not a picnic, it's not a cookout. So it's not your opportunity to eat everything in your house either. And I know when we went out a couple of weeks ago, we did a lot of buying and you're picking up everything, the cookies, the chips, the this, the that. And Dr. Rona had stressed on it is to really go back to your schedule, your normal routine. If you normally eat breakfast in the morning, have a cup of coffee in the morning and go off to work for 6 or 8 hours, please continue doing that. Put yourself back on your schedule. If you fed your children breakfast in the morning, they might eat lunch at 2 at 10, 11, 12. Stick to that schedule, not grazing all day. My sister is home, very particular about what she eats, really take good care of herself. She's been home now for a week and she said all she's done is eat. She set up her computer in the kitchen and every single thing is in arm's reach. So she just eats and eats and eats all day. On her Zoom call to her friends, her other co-workers, everybody's gained like 5 or 10 pounds because that's all they're doing all day long is eating. And that goes along with also part of the stress. And I'll have Roy do some of the tips and I'll come back to you.
All right, so one of the things, again, to kind of stress the schedule aspect of this, one of the things that we find because of the whole quarantine aspect, you're prone to like cabin fever. So the schedule helps that. It'll give you a focus during the day. With that, you want to look at what you already have in your pantry, in your freezer. Clear out all the old food. Don't get caught up in stuff that old cake that's in the back of the fridge from 2 years ago. Get rid of all of that stuff first. You can also extrapolate that out to your closets. Try to declutter a little bit. But since we're just talking about food and nutrition right now, that's the first thing you want to do is get rid of all of the stuff. Look at your labels, check and make sure that you don't have anything that's outdated.
Yeah. And with the label too, this is a great time. Usually we're so busy, we never stop and read our labels. So use this opportunity. You're home, you can Google it, learn how to read a label. The ketchup bottle. Learn how to read your label. You're like, oh, I've never done that before. You're so busy. But now you have time. You're sitting home with your children, and you can take the opportunity, not advertising, to look at the labels. You see it, start reading it. Log on to Google, look up what it says, like saturated fat, and then look the definition. Look up the cholesterol. Look up the weight. Look how much calories. If a serving is 4. Oh, it's only 4 and I can eat 8. 4 is 60, you multiply. So start practicing reading those labels, things we've never had time to do before.
So after you've gotten rid of all of the old stuff, now you got to prepare a basic list of nutritional foods. A basic list is protein sources like canned fish and beans, canned and frozen vegetables, fruits, as well as tomatoes and tomato sauce, whole grains, bread, rice, quinoa, and whole wheat. With that variety, you can make a multitude of things.
Yeah. And you don't have to be calling out an Uber and all that food either. You might want to start to make this opportunity to use what's in your cabinets and pantry. And oh, by the way, go back and please read the dates on those foods. Because we just buy stuff, stuff it in, pull everything out, read the dates. Again, Google it. If you put the label, it will tell you what it means and if all of that food is still good. Okay, because we're so blessed. And you don't realize how blessed we are. We're home complaining about having nothing to eat. Open your pantry and just thank God. Every time you take a can out, just say thank you. Because we have an awful lot of foods in our house. And this is not the time to, if you're not a vegetable eater, don't go out and buy a bunch of fresh vegetables that you're not going to eat. You're going to be wasting the food. Okay, if you like frozen vegetable, it's okay. Buy frozen vegetable and eat it. If you don't eat fresh fruit, don't let it go to waste and rot. I'm talking about my house. Buy things that you like and your family will eat.
So with that, you want to use up the fresh foods first.
Yep.
Use up what you have first. You don't want to have anything go to waste. This means many fruits and vegetables and colorful foods. Remember, you want a colorful plate. It's much more nutritious. Be a great time to cook with garlic and onions. Fresh foods with the best longevity will include root vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, onions, citrus fruits, and lemons. So you want to, I mean, potatoes last long, onions last long, and they're good additives when you're cooking.
Yeah.
Either doing stews or what have you. It'll give you good bulk.
And this is the time for you to kind of engage all your family. You're home anyway. Usually we're so busy, we never get to eat together. But this is the time to bring everyone in. Some can wash, some can cut, some can slice, and you put everything in the oven. Set the table. Use your nice china. You don't have to use paper. Set the table. Make it fun. Put candles out with your kids, and then sit down and have, say your grace and have a meal together. And then, of course, all of you need to clean up together too. That's all part of it. And then you won't be bored. So if you prep at night or you all plan it together, look what you have in your house. And I'm just saying that because that's kind of what kind of informally we do. We talk about what we're going to eat. Roy loves to grill. This is a good opportunity to grill if he likes to grill. But again, you have to be aware of, still practice all those safety habits.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Don't be cutting meat and vegetable with the same knife. If you have a cutting board, make sure you wash between because you don't want to end up with some other problems other than coronavirus. If you're home, still make sure cold things stay cold, hot things stay hot. And if you cut the meat on a dish and you go to grill, don't take the grill meat and put it back in the container that you brought it in with all the blood to take it back to serve it, okay? So you might want to still follow some of those guidelines for handling foods at home. This is an excellent time to bake with your kids, and it's a great way to do some of those do homework. Or you can do math when you're baking and measuring and adding. So that's an opportunity also to use that. That was Roy, not me. Okay.
And now, so also during this time, make sure you avoid too much salt.
Yes, because you have tons of chips, you'll be eating it.
And again, it goes along with reading those labels. Remember, when it says on the label, sodium content, 75% or 3, kind of use common sense. 3% is much better than 30% sodium. So to try and avoid the salt, use other things for flavor, such as dried herbs. Oregano is great. Basil, thyme, rosemary. Spices with, we have lemon. I like lemon pepper. It just makes it easy. It works like salt to me. Chili powder, turmeric, paprika, salt-free seasonings, and of course, my favorite, curry powder.
Mm-hmm. Drink up all the soda in your house. Drink them all up. Get rid of it. I'm not saying throw it away, because when you get thirsty, everybody's grabbing a soda. You have water in your house. If you have to buy bottled water, think about all the waste. If you run the water from your tap, boil the water, cool it in the refrigerator, and drink it. It's just
as good as
just as good. So don't waste a lot of your money running out, wasting your time buying bottled water. Okay. And if you have a refrigerator, you filter it. It's the same as bottled water. You're just paying for the water to be filtered. So please make sure you take it drinking water. If you have all the soda, I'm not telling you to throw it, but drink it up quick. Or do half and half soda, half water, especially for our babies. They're gonna be crying, people are gonna be irritable. Many of us have never spent 8 hours with our children, so you don't know their behavior. Don't stuff cookies in their mouth to shut them up. Just, you might wanna look at the fruits. Look at the school menu. That's a great way to look. Go on your website, look what they were serving in school for lunch, and act and plan accordingly.
So, and finally, especially with when it talks about the babies, and for the adults also, you got to watch your electrolytes.
Yeah.
So rather than running out and try to hoard all this bottled water, buy things like Pedialyte,
That's true
buy
if your
things
kids
like
get sick.
Gatorade, because
Yeah,
if you lose your appetite, you're going to need those
that's a
essentials
good point.
to raise your immune system again.
Yeah.
That's all we
Yeah.
have.
And take the opportunity. One of the things I was going to tell you, if you keep all your food in your kitchen, pack them all up in a bag and take them upstairs. So at least you have to walk upstairs to go get it. Yeah. Think about it. So if you have to walk to get, likely of going all the way to your bedroom to get a cookie, but if it's in the kitchen, you're gonna reach. I'll pack them all up and take them in the basement. If it's not in the basement, put them in a container so you can't see them. If you can't see it, you won't be that tempted to go ahead and eat it. And that's one of the things that I do for myself. I put them in. I keep the cookies in another room and keep the stuff in another room. So you have to get up and go and get it. And exercise. So that's why if it's far, it's gonna force you to walk and exercise.
Please exercise.
Okay. So thank you very much. And if any questions, send them to us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Noels. We're going to jump right over to Beth, who is going to discuss some mental health with us.
So we always talk about the physical health aspects of any virus, but what about your mental health? And how do you stay as sane as you can over the next few days with all of the changes that we're having? So the first thing is, you get anxious because one, if you're like me, just hearing the word COVID-19 or coronavirus, or even when you hear the word president, you're like, oh my gosh, and you get tense and your anxiety builds and you start to worry even more. So remember, first of all, that this is a time of grief and change. We are all grieving, and people think of grieving as something that happens with death, but grief happens with loss. So we have all lost that sense of independence, where you are free to go to the store and pick up anything you want at any time, where you can hug someone and not feel there are repercussions to that. So remember to give yourself time each day to grieve and to understand that this is what you're going through. Our kids are having the same thing. I know my daughter has locked herself in her room many days. And so I just try to give everyone in my household time to reflect on their negative and positive feelings each day. The other is to remember that this is likely your new normal, at least for the next few weeks. Hopefully and prayerfully it won't be, but we do need to take into consideration that this is going to be a new normal, and that change is difficult for anyone, whether it is changing jobs, changing your home, but now you've been asked to change your whole lifestyle. And that's a lot for one person to take in at one moment. So give yourself time to recognize that you are grieving and that you are in a part of change. So how do you find your balance? Well, turn off that TV. You worry when you watch too much TV, and then you worry when you don't have enough TV. So I encourage you to limit your time watching TV or news radio each day. Choose the same time each day to watch it. From what happens in the morning to what happens at night has not changed. Find a reputable station, one that does not, glamorize the fact that there are a number of deaths, that there is, there this number in the hospital. You see masks on people in every shot and every scene. Those things encourage a fear in you. And so look for a station and stay with that station. People don't realize that just changing channels causes anxiety. So limit your time, make sure you have a reputable station, and stick with that station for so many hours during the day. What do you do when you worry? And what is the difference in worry and anxiety? We all worry, we all have anxiety. Worry is a good thing. Anxiety is a bad thing. But the difference is when you worry, it is more of a mental piece. When you have anxiety, it is not only mental, but it is physical. There's no diagnosis for worry disorder, but there is anxiety disorder. So worrying can help you plan. you worry about being infected. So you plan to wash your hands each time you touch something. You worry that there's not enough food on the shelf. So you plan the week before for what you're going to order. Those things can help you keep that anxiety from happening and help you stay worrying in the worry phase and being planning. There's nothing wrong with worrying. It becomes an issue and a concern when it spirals. Plan now. If you know that you need something, whether it's going to be financial because your job has laid you off, whether you know that you could possibly be sick, whether your kids are going to be at home, start planning now and engage your kids in that plan. Your kids are on social media. I engage my daughter. A lot of stores now are actually posting, when they have delivery trucks. So my daughter's job is to go online, figure out who has a delivery truck on what day so that I will know when to order groceries. So we can all be engaged to keep that stress down. Who you can call when you feel sick, who you can call to get money from. This is not a time for you to be proud and not ask for help. So while you're worrying, engage your plan on how you're going to continue with that. Connect with others. We often forget that seniors or older adults have been through this before many, many times, and that children are very resilient. So definitely connect, but you have to remember to connect on a different level. When you're connecting with older adults, they don't necessarily have Facebook and chats and all of those things. So picking up that good old phone, that thing that, has the dial tone, and asking, how are you doing? Do you have someone that's doing your laundry? Do you have enough food? How are you getting your medications? If someone doesn't have medications, help them with a plan as well. Whether that is to get medications by delivery, or if it is just, to say, hey, I'm happy to go pick it up for you and leave it at their front door. So always have a plan. With your kids, to keep you sane with your kids, like I said, enlist them in helping with the plan for your entire household. Talk with them, stay calm about how you explain what COVID-19 means, get factual information, like Rona said, from the CDC or from the World Health Organization, and talk to your kids on a level that they can understand. Have them. There are lots of things that they can do because they are virtual people. There's Netflix party where they can join Netflix and watch the same movies and be chatting at the same time. Decorate your house to make it, look like there's a party going on. If you are single, or if you, even if you're married, talk with your friends the same way you did before all of this happened. If there was a restaurant that you thought, hey, let's go try this restaurant, order from that restaurant. Everyone can order delivery and still talk to each other, connect on, did you like that restaurant? So when it is time for you to be able to go out, you can. So just keep planning. The other is to remember people who are responders, our pastors, your therapist, your medical people. Remember that their stress is very real. They suffer, or we suffer, a secondary traumatic stress. So sometimes as a responder, you don't always take time for yourself, and you should. It's okay to say no. It's okay to wind down. And then I always say to my clients, I have to put my oxygen mask on first before I can save you. So I think that's everyone at this point right now. Just a few things that I think that you can do, everyone in the house, to help you stay a little sane. There are lots of virtual tours. There are, even tours of Mars that you can go on. Like I said, the Netflix parties, virtual operas, learn a new language, learn some basic phrases in a new language, read your book, read the Bible. Always stay positive. Order your Easter items now because it is coming, and remember that we can talk about what that day is truly about and not just the Easter egg hunt, but plan, even if you are having an Easter egg hunt, start planning and ordering those items now. Most of all, if you have an actual mental health diagnosis, Please stay vigilant on your medication routine. Please connect with your provider, whether it's through telehealth. And for all of us to remember that this is a difficult time. We are needing to lean on each other more and more. Find those things that provide joy to you. And I like mindfulness. Mindfulness forces you to focus on the here and now, and not the what ifs, because you can spiral very quickly with the what ifs. So take a online mindfulness class, try some meditation, do the exercises. But above all, we will all pray for each other and hope that this will end soon.
All right. Thank you, Beth. So I'm going to discuss some fitness tips for you all. And I feel like fitness helps with all of the above, helps with the mental. It also will help with your immune system, and obviously goes hand in hand with nutrition. So first, just remember to always still get your 20 to 45 minutes of exercise at least 3 days per week. More is even better, especially being kind of cooped up in the house. And if you're working from home, you need something else to do. Exercise is a great tool for that. Strive to just maintain your fitness level. Don't worry so much about increases or gains. Just try to maintain, your weight that you started before you got quarantined. Set small goals for yourself. Don't overthink it. Don't overdo it. The weather's getting nicer outside, so it's okay to go for, a walk around the neighborhood. Just maintain your social distancing. Don't gather around at playgrounds and things like that. Those are not good for you, but taking a walk around the neighborhood is a great way to get out. We had nice weather, get a good playlist in there, and just start going, switch up your playlist to keep you motivated also. If you need a break from the kids or the husband or the wife, leave them at home and just take the walk by yourself. Or if you want some company, go ahead and bring them, the kids with you. There are a lot of online things that you can use now. YouTube has a lot of good and free videos. I'm going to send out an email that has some of these resources for you. But there's a lot of different online platforms. There's apps. There are free apps. There are apps that you can pay for. Daily Burn, Beachbody. Those are all, they have a variety of exercise classes. Apps such as Nike Training Club. Pull out your old workout DVDs. Those things never go out of style. And then also, if you're a member of a gym, see if they're offering some virtual classes. If you're an Instagram person, there's a lot of Instagram fitness professionals who are holding virtual classes that you can just log on to right there. Also, if you have a treadmill or elliptical that's right now has clothes on it, take the clothes off of it and actually start to get on it. That's what they're for. It's a good time to pull those machines out right now. And another thing that I'm going to send out in an email, hopefully, which will be attached to this video, are just a few bodyweight workouts that you can do. Some of you all know my classes, some of you all know my style, so it's bringing up some of those old workouts, but I will have some that are partner workouts, some that are for seniors, some that are a little bit tougher, but go at your own pace. Again, we're just trying to maintain, get that metabolism working. And again, do them with your family, do them with your friends, just to kind of to get everybody working. So I just wanted to be really quick on that. Again, a lot of my resources I will be sending out in the email that have a list of various YouTube videos. And those YouTube videos, I picked out a few channels that are really good for the total family. So there's a guy who actually does PE classes online. There's a lady who does a good yoga class. There's some workouts just for women. There are some workouts if you have more equipment at your house. But again, they're all free. Some of them about 30 minutes, or some are longer, some are shorter. So really just, again, you've got time at home, just kind of see what's out there. I'm pretty sure you can get a good routine in, and hopefully these are things that you will continue even once all this is gone. Start to make these good habits now. And yeah, so I just want to thank all the group here. They can all wave and say hi. So I just wanted to thank them for coming on here. We hope that you all got some good information. There has been an email address that is set up. It is famehealthcovid19@gmail.com. So if you do have any follow-up questions, please send them to us and we will try to answer those, or at least direct you to a resource that can help you. And if we get a lot of questions, we may just send out a frequently asked questions document or sheet, just so the whole church can have those. But this is new territory for all of us, so if you have questions, please feel free to ask. It's better to ask than to sit at home wondering, and don't believe everything on the internet.
All right.
All right, anyone else have anything to say?
Nope.
No? All right, well then we will.
Thank you for planning this. Thank you.
All right.